Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to our LakePoint Junior High online family experience. My name is Pastor Ethan and I'm so excited that you are participating online today. We've got a great morning planned for you. Now to start today, I want to share with you a couple photos. And I want to show you these photos to help show you how something can change over time. Now, just to give you a heads up and provide you with a very clear warning. You'll never be able to unsee these photos. Once you see them pop up on the screen, they're gonna be ingrained into your mind forever. And that's important to let you know because it might cause you to have decades of counseling. So just giving you some heads up, and you can't say I didn't warn you. I'm about to show you a series of photos of me. That's why this can be so traumatic. And we're gonna see how I've changed over the years. And so if you're ready, let's check them out. So I guess you could say I've changed a few times over the years. Now, my whole entire point of showing you those amazing photos was that most of us assume that people can't change. And sometimes we apply that thinking to ourselves too. And when we believe that things don't change, we can get stuck in the midst of believing that nothing else is possible for ourselves and for other people. But we're gonna learn today, as we head into the final week of our series titled It's Personal, that Jesus sees and knows our potential and that there's more that's possible for ourselves and for others. Jesus knows that we can change, and it's pretty evident that I've changed, as we saw in those less than stellar photos. Now, before I give away too much of our teaching video today, I would love if you would just take the next 60 seconds to fill out our online connection card. You can find it right on the main page of the LakePoint app. And what I love about the connection card is it serves as LakePoint's guest book. And so whether you're watching for the first time today or you've been watching with us for a while, we would love for you to sign our guest book this morning. It's also a great way for us to stay connected, and it provides you with an opportunity to sign up and see our current and upcoming campaigns and initiatives here at the church. So let's take the next 60 seconds together and fill out the form.
In 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for completing the connection card and signing our guest book. Now, every week here at Junior High, we have some friendly family competition. And so, for this week, we're gonna play a game of giants, elves, and wizards, and it is going to be so epic. Okay, so for today's challenge, all you need is 2 people, you and a parent. This is a game that follows the same rules and goals as the classic game of rock, paper, scissors. This game involves 2 players who will act as one of 3 characters, a giant, an elf, or a wizard. When a player acts out a character, they do the specific hand motions and sounds associated with that character. And so, if you choose a giant, you have to stand up on your tippy toes, raise your arms, and make a growling noise like brrr. That's just what giants sound like to me. If you choose an elf, and this is probably my favorite one, you crouch down very, very low. You cup your hands around your ears because elves have big ears, obviously. And then you make a high-pitched elf noise, something like ah! And if you choose a wizard, you crouch slightly and you wave your fingers as if you're casting a spell, and then you make a magical noise like Shazam. Now, here's where things get tricky and where you might have to rewind the video and replay these instructions. In the game of rock, paper, scissors, we know that rock beats scissors, and scissors beats paper, and paper beats rock. Well, in our game today, giants beat elves because giants are able to squash elves. Elves beat wizards because elves are small and they can take wizards out at the ankles. And wizards beat giants because wizards can cast that magical spell on the giants. All right, so you're gonna play 3 rounds, and whichever person wins 2 of the 3 rounds is going to be declared a giant, elf, and wizard champion. After you've declared a winner, take a few minutes to capture a photo of you and your family participating today and post it on our LakePoint Junior High Facebook group for the chance to win a prize. The prize this week is a Tim Hortons gift card for students, and for the parents, we have an incredible parenting resource that helps optimize the time that we spend with our kids. So go play 3 rounds, declare a winner, take the photo, post it in our Facebook group, and then jump back to the video as we move into our teaching series titled It's Personal. Today, we are in the final week of our series, and we're gonna see a guy named Zacchaeus have a personal encounter with Jesus, and we're gonna see that his life changes drastically. Everyone around Zacchaeus thought that he couldn't change, that he didn't have any potential, but Jesus made it personal by walking into Zacchaeus' life and making it personal. And Jesus makes it personal with us by knowing our potential too. And so I'm excited today to learn about our potential to change and how we can inspire others to see their potential to change. Check it out.
Wow, look at this. This right here is 7th grade Marquise, all right? This is me before, this is after, although you see me right now. This is who I am, a lot less hair, but this is the 7th grade version of me. I love looking at this photo as I look back at it. As a matter of fact, I love looking at my before and afters when it comes to my life, especially that photo, because before football, I was kind of, just shy and just thought about myself and didn't think people would like me or even accept me. But then I found football. And after I found football, my life changed for the better. I found friends that I'm still friends with today. I found coaches that still are mentors for me today. And I found a brotherhood, which I thought would never be possible for me. You see, I think we all love a good before and after because if we're honest, most of us assume that people, well, they can't change. We think we're all just sort of the way we are for better or for worse. You think your sister will never stop borrowing your stuff without asking. Your brother will always be annoyed with you. Your parents will never be less strict with the rules in your house. Maybe your best friend will always be talkative. Your coach will never stop yelling. You see, that bully on your team will always be a bully. Whoever it is, we see those people and often think that they're not capable of change. And truth be told, I think a lot of us apply this same line of thinking to ourselves as well. If you're anything like me, you might want to change something about yourself, but you think it's too hard or maybe even impossible. Sometimes not changing could be good though, especially if things are going pretty great for us. When we're making good grades or killing it on the team or dating someone awesome or surrounded by amazing friends, that's when we don't mind if things stay the way that they are. But when things are hard, when we're struggling with anxiety or failing math or fighting with a best friend or trying to cover up a bad decision or choice, well then we feel like things will never change. Maybe you feel this because of the circumstances that you're in. It's where you live, or the tensions in your family, or the illness you're battling, or the fact that your family doesn't have a lot of money. Those sorts of things feel difficult to change because for the most part, you can't control them. You didn't choose them, and you can't do much to make them different. Or maybe you feel this way because of the fact that you're in school. The adults in your life still seem to have a lot of control in your world. They get to decide a lot of things that impact your life, like your curfew, if you're allowed to have a phone, who you can hang out with after school. Right now, it feels like you don't have the power to change much of anything at all. Maybe you feel this way because of mistakes you've made. You've lied, you've cheated, you've covered up bad choices, and now you feel like those things define you. Like you'll never be able to change or move on from those mistakes. Or maybe you feel this way because of what you see in other people. Your mom, your dad, your best friend, your older brother haven't been able to change, and you've been told a million times that things will be different. But well, they're not. Nothing has changed. And eventually you start to wonder if change is even possible. If those people can't change, why should we think anybody can change? You see what I mean? We all just sort of operate under this idea that things just are the way they are. And because of that, whether we realize it or not, we're saying that we believe nothing else is possible. All this brings us back to the story of Zacchaeus. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking through an encounter Zacchaeus had with Jesus. Just to review, Zacchaeus was a guy with a bad reputation. He was a tax collector, which back then meant he was a really bad guy. He cheated, he lied, he stole, and all that made him the kind of guy nobody wanted to hang out with. In most everyone's eyes, Zacchaeus was a bad guy who was just never going to change. But then, Zacchaeus had a personal experience with Jesus. As you might remember, Jesus spotted Zacchaeus up in a tree. Out of the entire crowd, he noticed Zacchaeus. Then, Jesus went over to him, called him by name, and even invited himself over to Zacchaeus' house. Now, of course, people were shocked. Look back at what they said in response to Jesus' interaction with Zacchaeus. All the people saw this and began to mutter, "He has gone to be the guest of a sinner." So obviously, this crowd thought Zacchaeus was a sinner. And it seems like they thought this was all he would ever be. Because of that, Jesus shouldn't want to be in his home, right? He shouldn't want anything to do with Zacchaeus. But as you might remember, Jesus made it personal by stepping into love and getting to know Zacchaeus, regardless of what other people, and even Zacchaeus himself, might have thought. And look at what happened as a result. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount." Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. Talk about change. In this short interaction, Jesus didn't say much. He didn't give Zacchaeus a lecture or preach a sermon. He didn't call him out for his mistakes. He didn't limit Zacchaeus to the sum of his bad choices. Instead, Jesus treated Zacchaeus like a person he cared about, a person he knew by name, a person he wanted to hang out with, a person with the potential to change. And that changed everything. Because of what Jesus did for him, Zacchaeus was able to change. He offered to not just pay everyone back, but give them at least 4 times what he stole from them. His personal encounter with Jesus changed his life, and then it changed his relationship with the people around him. Zacchaeus was now someone who was committed to making things right. That was a change. And here's what I think is so cool about this story. Jesus didn't wait to approach Zacchaeus until after he changed. He looked at Zacchaeus before and saw his potential to change. And he looks at us the same way. See, it's personal because Jesus knows your potential. He knows that no matter who you are, how old you are, what circumstances you are in, or what things you've done, you have the potential to change. Your life can change. Things can be different. You have the potential to change. So, what does that mean? Well, for starters, if you want to see change happen, the first thing you should do is start hanging out with Jesus. When Jesus spent time with Zacchaeus, it got personal. It helped him change. And it can do the same for us. If you want to see change in your life, start by spending time with Jesus. This can happen all kinds of ways, through prayer, through worship, journaling, reading your Bible, spending time at church, or talking to your group leader. However you choose to do it, I can promise you that spending time with Jesus will help you change. Then look around at the people Jesus has put in your life. How can you help them see their potential? How can you encourage them to change? Remember, it's personal because Jesus knows your potential. And that's true not just for you, but for the people around you too. So, who in your life have you viewed like Zacchaeus? Who have you believed just can't change? This week, take a step to change the way you see them. Pray that Jesus would help you see their potential. Ask him to make it personal with them like he has for you. Ask him to help you be a voice of encouragement toward change in their life. Because just like Jesus made it personal for us, he wants us to make it personal to others. Remember, there is no age restriction for change to happen. You have so much potential right now. There's no limit. You simply have to start believing change is possible. Zacchaeus climbed a tree to see Jesus, and something significant took place when he did that. It got personal. His life changed. And the same can be true of us. When we step toward Jesus, we open ourselves up to the potential of big change. It's personal because Jesus knows your potential. And there's someone else Jesus has put in your life that knows your potential too. Your group leader. They want to know you, like really know you, and they already love you. And they show up every week because they want to encourage you to fulfill the potential Jesus sees in you. So as you go to group, think about this question. What's one thing I want to change in my life?
Students, parents, if you hear one thing today, I want you to hear this. You have potential. And maybe you struggle to believe that you can make any change to reach that potential. And I get it. I totally understand that because we live firmly in the here and now. We see what's now. We see what's directly around us, and we see it as something that will be there forever and won't change. And so this idea that anything and anyone can change, that can be pretty challenging to understand. But I strongly believe that there's more to your life and there's potential in your future. I believe it's so possible. And how do I know that and why do I believe that? Well, because Jesus tells us. And he displays it to us and he gives us a front row seat to his encounter with Zacchaeus so that we would know that we have potential. You see, it's personal because Jesus knows your potential. So if we want to see change happen, then we need to start spending time with Jesus. And that might look like communicating to him about how you feel about change or how you have a hard time seeing potential in yourself or other people. So start today by talking to Jesus. And then we can encourage others by changing how we see them and believing that they can change too. You see, again, just like Jesus made it personal for us, and just like he made it personal for Zacchaeus, he wants to make it personal for others, and he wants to invite us into that incredible goal. Now, as we move into a time of discussion, I want you to think about this question. What's one thing you want to change in your life right now? Parents, this is where we are going to turn things over to you. In a moment, you'll see some questions on your screen, and so grab the remote and press pause for as long as you need to create a meaningful discussion around the questions. Remember that these questions are just a guide, so feel free to rephrase them in a way that engages your student best. After you've completed those questions and had a meaningful discussion, press play and join me back on the video for some closing thoughts. Thanks for a great week at junior high, everyone. Remember to post in our junior high Facebook group your photo of your family participating today for the chance to win a prize. Just head to Facebook, search LakePoint Junior High, and request to join the group. If you aren't on Facebook, you could just email me your photo to ethan@lakepoint.church, and I'll make sure you get added into the draw. Now, to close our time this morning, take the next 2 minutes to pray together as a family, and then head to the LakePoint app and access our daily devotionals, and you'll find those right under the Family Resources section. You can also access those videos through a link right below this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or our app. There's a link that'll take you right to those devotionals right below the video. Thanks for watching and participating online today. I'll see you next time.